So I'm very passionate about a lot of things, but not as much as I am about my culture. I am Mexican American, I'm a first generation kid. And in preparing for my speech tonight, I really wanted to capture that. I wanted to tell you guys a story, or better yet, an experience that was influenced by my culture. So as I start thinking about all these topics and brainstorming, I have one memory that keeps coming up constantly, and that's my quinceañera. Now, for those who don't know what a quinceañera is a traditional Hispanic celebration where the community acknowledges the girl transitioning into a woman. Now, there are two main concepts to a quinceañera. There is the religious part, as you see, I'm in church, and then the festivities, a grand, hey, I'm coming out, I'm an adult party. Now, I just lost my train of thought. Now, I had my quinceañera 10 years ago, okay? That's a long time ago. Things were a little different back then as well. But as I reflected on this, I realized there were some very memorable moments and very challenging moments that made my quinceañera amazing and unforgettable. There was the dress, of course. There was picking the right people to participate in your court of honor. And then there was the performances. So the dress, by far the most important aspect of the event. I heavily thought about what I wanted. There's so many different styles out there, and what can you take to church and what can't you take to church? And I traveled literally all up and down Northern California finding the perfect dress. I wanted something light, I wanted something sophisticated but simple, and most importantly, I wanted something comfortable. So after traveling and trying on several dresses, I just could not find one. I ended up at a small bridal shop where I met a nice lady named Anna. And Anna owned this bridal shop, it's in Los Gatos, and weirdly enough, I was there with my cousin who was trying to look for her dress as well. And not only does she sell bridal gowns and quinceañera gowns and homecoming gowns and all that good dresses, she also made custom dresses. And I immediately fell in love with the idea of having a custom-made dress to my liking. So after convincing the parentals, because this is not a cheap investment, I started working with Anna. We spent the next 3 to 4 months designing my gown. She was able to capture the concept that I had in my mind into a sketch and then later on to a dress. So now as you can see, it's a white ball gown with a corset halter top and a tulle skirt. I was involved in all the details of this dress, from the crystals that were done to the stitching of that halter. And it took lots of time and lots of effort, but I came out with the most wonderful dress. And as cliche as this may sound, I felt like a princess for the night. But dressing myself was probably the easiest thing, and even though designing a dress may sound easy, it's really not. But it was a lot easier than coming up with the right people to participate in my event, which is referred to the Court of Honor. Now, the Court of Honor is a group of people that participate in the quinceañera's event. So it's kind of like a bridal party. You guys all dress alike. You guys are in every freaking picture you can think of. And you participate in everything, from the formal entrances to the church, to the hall, to the ceremony, to any performances you may have that night, even in, like I mentioned, into pictures. Now, this picture here is an overall group picture of us. And a lot of these people I've known since diapers. A lot of these people are even family. And it's really, really important to pick the right type of people, because not only do they dedicate tons of their time, they also dedicate money. And these wonderful 15 group of people spent 2 or 3 days a week for 6 months at my house. Okay, they didn't live there. Okay, they went home, but they came at least 2 or 3 times a week, and we practice and practice and practice. And you're probably thinking, what did you guys practice? And we practice our performance. Now, I was that awkward kind of kid. I did not like the spotlight at all. And my quinceañera was the opportunity for me to come out and be in the spotlight. All focus was on me. And as nerve-wracking as that may sound, it was kind of cool, you know, kind of fun. And so my parents and I decided we should have a couple of traditional performances. So they hired an instructor. His name was Mr. Gonzalez, and he coordinated 2 waltz and a salsa dance. And up to this point, I did not know how to move any of my body. It was just one long stick. They just did not do this at all. And even though it was tedious, and like I said, we practiced for 6 months, it was probably by far the best 6 months ever. We ended up doing an amazing job in our performance. And as you can see with some of these pictures, my dance instructor was kind of out there. He was a little dramatic. But no one fell, thank God. Everyone stayed in place. Everyone had that, okay, I'm good, haven't forgotten anything yet, look on their face. So it turned out really, really well. And as I look back, and like I said, I had my quinceañera 10 years ago. And even though it was stressful, and trust me, it's just like planning a wedding. It's so beyond stressful. You think of everything that you can possibly not want to make a decision on, you had to make a decision on. It was so much fun. And there's nothing in the world that I would ever take back for that night. I got to do some things I never thought I was able to do. I got to design a dress. I spent an amazing time with my friends. I was able to even learn the salsa dance. If you ask me today, I won't be able to tell you, so don't ask. But it was amazing, and there's nothing else that I would trade it in for the world. And as you can see, that's my little brother. We had such a great time, and I'm the only daughter, so my parents only got to do this once, and they went out all big, and I appreciate it very much each and every day. Mr. Joseph.